How on earth are teams batting so fast in test matches? Come, I'll tell you, because there's three reasons for it. The first reason is that over the last few years, pitches and the balls have seemed to be more batter friendly. This is partially due to luck, but also due to team strategy. England with their Bazball are of course having batter friendly pitches at home, and the old Duke's ball actually used to swing till like 30-40 overs and then used to maintain its hardness so you could do stuff off the pitch. But recently, the Duke's ball used in the last test match in India versus England swung for like 15 overs and then was so soft that bowlers couldn't do anything with it. So if you're a batsman who's been training your whole life, you're not going to miss a ball that does nothing off the pitch and in the air. Which brings me to my second point, which is that training and the T20 influence has made it so that batters play so many T20s that they now have the skills and the experience to actually bat aggressively, which is not something they had 20 years ago. And because of this, it actually becomes more of an incentive to not change the way you play. There have been very few good all-format players, and this is because it's very hard to change your technique and your mindset very quickly. And when you're playing a tour, you don't have more than a few days. So if you keep playing the same way, it's actually a lot easier for batsmen to feel comfortable and bat effectively. And this means that Bazball is actually catching on with a lot of teams. And since it's a relatively new thing, bowlers are kind of behind. It's not that they don't know how to stop runs, but I think the reason why Bazball is so effective is due to the nature of Test cricket. In Test cricket, you can't just try and stop the runs. The only way you win the game is if you take 20 wickets. So bowlers always have the incentive to go for wickets. And then if they do, for instance, start bowling T20 deliveries like a wide Yorker, the batsman can just leave it because there's no pressure to score fast. You have unlimited balls if you want. And due to this, I actually believe that Test cricket is the best format for hitters. And here's why. In T20s, when a hitter goes out to bat, they always have the pressure of the scoreboard, and also the bowlers try and stop them from hitting, which means they bowl Yorkers and other such deliveries that are hard to hit. But in Test cricket, the opposite is true. There's no scoreboard pressure. You get a ball like a Yorker or a hard length ball, you defend it. Who cares? You wait for the bad one. And then on the other hand, bowlers are incentivized to take wickets, so they don't bowl these defensive deliveries, which means if the ball is not swinging, a good length ball is actually really comfortable for a hitter to hit. And because of this, they love playing in test matches. A good example is Rishabh Pant. You see him play outrageous shots, but are they really that outrageous? If you know that the bowler is going to keep bowling good length for 6 balls in a row, I too would try and step out and perhaps play a scoop every once in a while, right? And on top of this, the field is usually very aggressive. You have 4 to 5 slips, which means only 4 people stopping boundaries. That means it's a lot easier to hit boundaries. And since you're not forced to hit them, you can hit them when you want. So it's like a hitter's paradise. And that's why I think Bazball has been so effective. It's easier for batsmen and much harder conundrum for bowlers. Now, I've said a lot about why Bazball is so effective, but that doesn't mean it's always effective. And here's an easy way to tell when. I think people overcomplicate this. It's simply a balance of technique versus aggression. When the pitch is very, very flat, both an aggressive batsman and a technical batsman will not get out, so they'll keep scoring. But the aggressive batsman will simply score faster, and since the pitch is flat, it's all hand-eye coordination. You're not going to get out. So in this area, an aggressive batsman will win. But as you start getting more of a balance between ball and bat, technique actually works because it lets you keep batting. And a point will come where if you bat aggressively, you'll get out. If you bat with technique, you won't. So you'll simply bat longer and outscore an aggressive batsman. And that's why technique is better in the middle. Now you might think, okay, well, if it's harder to bat, shouldn't you just always bat with technique even as it becomes more bowler-friendly? No, and here's why. When it becomes so bowler-friendly that technique doesn't matter, there's going to be a ball with your name on it, it actually makes sense to bat aggressively. And I'll give you a good example. In, I think, 2016 or 17, India went to South Africa. And I think we started bowling first, and Bhuvneshwar Kumar took 3 wickets in like a few overs. South Africa was 5 for 3. Now at that stage, I thought A.B. de Villiers was going to come out and start defending. But instead, he of course left the really good balls, but then when he could, he stepped out and started playing a few T20 shots as well. And I was like, why is he doing this? He got out in like 60, 70 balls, but he'd already made 50 runs. And I was like, okay, you know what? Not too bad. But then Pujara came out and he started defending. Now at first I was like, oh, this is working because he played 40 balls. But eventually a ball came that no matter how good his technique was, he was going to get out. And then he played 80, 90 balls, but he'd only made 15 to 20 runs. So you can see that when there's a ball that's coming with your name on it, you should try and make the most of the time you have and actually score in it. And that's why Bazball, I think, will actually work better when it's very bowler friendly, because you need to make use of the balls that you have and not wait till you get out. So test match teams, if you're watching this, if it's very flat or if it's very bowler friendly, use Bazball. But when there's a balance and you don't have to score fast, you know, your bowlers are good, Try and actually use your technique more. I think you'll score a lot more runs, and Bazball will not seem to fail as often, because Bazball is just an option. Batting with technique is just an option. It's about when you use it that matters the most. And with all of these new options, the last question I have is, what can bowlers do to deal with Bazball? Because sure, in the middle, yeah, you can just bowl normally and Bazball will probably fail. But when it's in these areas, what can bowlers do? If you want to know the answer to that question, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and you'll incentivize me to actually make a video like that.